Yeah, good morning, students. Today we are continuing the same lesson, physical quantities and system of units. Yeah, yesterday we discussed about the physical quantities, two types. One is fundamental quantities and their units, fundamental units, and the other derived quantities and their units. Units of derived quantities are called derived units. Units of fundamental quantities are called fundamental units. And also we have discussed all the 7 fundamental quantities in the SI system, right? In the system, right? And so we have in the modern system, we have 7 fundamental quantities, and their symbols and their units and the unit symbols, everything has been given to you. And also supplementary quantities also given to you, right? So we have studied about last point we discussed was the solid angle subtended by a whole body. Whole body is a whole surface of a body. At the center of that is given as equal to omega is equal to 4 pi stir radians. Up to that much we studied. Today we are going to the same lesson with the derived quantities. Derived quantities are those quantities which depend on fundamental quantities for their specification. Their units are depending on the units of fundamental quantities for their specification. So many derived quantities are there in physics. Very many quantities are there. In the advanced stage, we will come across each and every. But common quantities that we know are volume, area, density, speed, velocity, speed, velocity, displacement, acceleration, force, work, power, etc. Right? All these are what you call derived quantities, right? Derived quantities are called derived quantities because they are depending on fundamental quantities for their clarification, right? For example, one quantity I am taking out of this is velocity. Velocity. Why velocity is a derived quantity? Velocity. Velocity is equal, everybody knows it is rate of change of displacement. Rate of change of displacement means displacement by time. Sometimes the displacement is denoted by S divided by T. Sometimes it is D by T also you will write. But actually by this word S, we will mean displacement by time, right? So displacement is a length only. Divided by time is time only. Why velocity is a derived quantity? Because velocity depends on length and time. What is length? Length is a fundamental quantity. What is time? Time is also fundamental quantity. So unit of velocity is unit of a derived quantity. That's a derived unit. So the unit how you write? Length is in meter and time is in second. That is meter per second. And meter per second is as meter m s raised to minus 1. So that is why derived quantity is called. Derived quantities are quantities that depends on fundamental quantities, and their units are depending on the units of fundamental quantities. How many fundamental quantities are there in physics? 7 fundamental quantities and 2 supplementary quantities. Which are the 2 supplementary quantities? They are plane angle and solid angle. Solid angle is denoted by which letter? Omega. Omega means this is omega. Omega, right? And plane angle is presented by theta. So all these things we have discussed. Another quantity I am going to discuss before you is what you call force. That is force. Everybody knows that force is equal to mass into acceleration. That is equal to mass into acceleration. Mass into acceleration. Acceleration, right? Okay. That is equal to mass into acceleration is equal to velocity by time. Rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. Okay. So why force is a derived quantity, that only I am going to explain it. Force, everybody knows force. Second law of motion, according to second law of motion, force acting on a body is equal to mass into acceleration, right? Okay. So F is equal to ma. Every student knows that, right? That is equal to mass into acceleration. Acceleration is velocity by time. But velocity is a displacement by time. Therefore, this is equal to mass into displacement displacement by time, the whole, this is velocity, the whole divided by t. Displacement time is velocity, that divided by t. This is equal to mass into displacement, divided by time square, right? Displacement is a length, time, and mass, right? This is equal to m into L divided by t square, I can write. M is the symbol of mass, L is the symbol of distance or length, because displacement is a length only. Distance traveled and displacement both are measured in length only, divided by time square. Okay, so this is the fundamental quantity, and the unit of this is the fundamental unit, and this is also fundamental quantity, this is also fundamental quantity. So all these fundamental quantities involves in explaining force. So force is specified by these quantities. Force depends on fundamental quantities. That is why force is a derived quantity. Its unit is the derived unit. What is mass is kg, and length is meter, and time square is second square. Kg meter per second square. Right? This is written as equal to kg meter per second square means raised to -2. This is also called as Newton. Kg meter per second square is the unit of force in the SI system. So in the MK system, that is called as Newton. So this is a derived unit. Why it is a derived unit? Because force is a derived quantity. Why force is a derived quantity? Because it depends on the fundamental quantities for their specification. So these are the things about any number of, so many number of physical quantities are there. When you open your book and you go through almost all the physical quantities described there, that will be a very good idea, right? Physics learning means don't depend fully on the teacher, because you have a textbook, every line by line, word by word, you have learned more and more ideas, you will get points, you will get, that will be noted down, right? Next is system of units is the next part of this lesson, system of units. There are different systems used for measuring physical quantities. Mainly we have three systems of unit. One is called a CG system, CGS system, CGS system of units, and the other one is called MKS system. MKS system of units, and three, this is called SI system. SI system is also called a System A International, Greek wording only, or Standard International System also we have. In CGS system, centimeter, gram, second system. Earlier days, we have only three fundamentals. Accordingly, the systems were made in that way only, with the three quantities, right? CGS, centimeter, gram, second system. Centimeter for length, gram for mass, and the second for time. And this is meter, kilogram, second system. Meter for length, kilogram, kilogram for mass, and the second for time, right? Okay. The other one is SI system. So in the earlier days, we had this two. One more is there that we are not actually mentioning, that is FPS system. If it is not in use, that is why I am avoiding that. Okay. In the SI system is the modern system. It is a very modified form of the MK system only, right? And this contains 7 fundamentals that we have already discussed. Right? MK system, here henceforth we have to use the units in the S system only. Because MK system, all the units of MK system are in SI system also, right? Because mass is there, length is there, mass is there, and the second is there in MK system. Same, those quantities are included in the SI system also. That is why we have revised the MK system, and we have now in the modern time SI system. In the SI system, all the 7 fundamentals and the supplementary units we have already studied. Right? So there are so many advantages of SI system. It is a decimal system. What are the advantages of SI system? Because henceforth we have to use units in the SI system only, right? No other units we have to use, we can use, because in the CBS it is very clearly mentioned that we have to use only the SI system of units. SI system of units means so many advantages there. It is a decimal system. That is, multiples and submultiples of these units are expressed as powers of 10. Expressed as powers of 10. For example, 1 megawatt is equal to 10 raised to 6 watt. 1 megawatt is equal to 10 raised to 6 watt. Right? Any versions, that means multiples and submultiples can be obtained by multiplying a power of 10. That means decimal. 10 means decimal, that's why it is called a decimal system. That means the multiples and the submultiples of any unit can be obtained by applying or multiplying that unit with the power of 10. That is why it is called a decimal system. This is internationally accepted. And also you see 1 microampere. 1 microampere. 1 microampere. Microampere. Microampere means it is equal to 10 raised to minus 6 ampere it is called. 1 milliampere. 1 milliampere is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. Ampere only, but the multiples and submultiples of submultiples of ampere can be obtained by applying or multiplying with a quantity that is the power of 10 is multiplied with that. We will get multiples and submultiples of that physical quantity can be obtained by multiplying with a quantity which is a power of 10. It is a coherent system. It is based on